Because in all the cases I've testified as an expert, when we start talking about discrimination, we look at things like adverse impact and disparate treatment. Adverse impact occurs in selection under a formula. And that's what it says here on the slide. Adverse impact. By the way, what is adverse impact? Against a protected class. It adversely affected a protected class. Well, what do you mean? Well, they have a formula. They said, we consider it to be adverse impact when you're hiring people. We consider it to be adverse impact if the rate of a protected group is less than 80% of the rate for the group with the highest selection rate, which is also known as the 4/5 rule. Now you know why I didn't give you that at 9 o'clock last Thursday night, right? Because that makes no sense. Adverse impact occurs for in other things. For example, I have a client that's going to do a layoff. And they say, Nancy, what do we do first? And I say, adverse impact. Go do your adverse impact study. What's that? Adverse impact study is how is your layoff going to affect your minorities? If you have 50 employees and you're going to have a layoff, you're going to lay off 20 employees. What percent of your workforce are you going to lay off? 40% of your workforce is going to be laid off. Now I want to know, of that, what percent of the people being laid off are minorities? Now, how does that compare to what the percentage of minorities in your total workforce is? Most well-known case I worked with and told them, you people have lost it, don't do this. They had 6 African-American employees. They had 100 employees, and 6 of them were African-American. And they laid off 15 people, and all 6 of the African-Americans were laid off. So the owner of the company looks at me and says, but I use seniority, and seniority is totally objective, and nobody can say I was discriminating. By golly, if you use seniority, nobody can say you're discriminating.